When you see RF on a 10-cent euro coin, you're looking at the French national design, RF equals République Française. The French 10-cent piece carries one of France's most beloved numismatic icons, le semuse the sower. That figure, striding forward, scattering seed into the wind, first appeared in 1897 on French francs by engraver Oscar Roti, becoming a visual poem about work, renewal, and the Republic's future. A century later, when Europe moved toward a single currency, France decided not to invent something new, but to modernize a classic. Designer Laurent Joriot reinterpreted Roti's sower for the Euro era, sharpening the lines, opening up the composition, and pairing it with the minimalist, RF, monogram. That is the national side you see on the 2014 coin, a confident sower advancing across a field of stylized rays, France's artistic past carried into the common currency. Technically, the 10-cent sits in the middle of the small euro denominations and shares a distinctive look and feel across the continent. It's struck in Nordic gold, an alloy of about 89% copper, 5% aluminum, 5% zinc, 1% tint chosen because it resists tarnish, holds sharp detail, and is non-magnetic, which helps with vending machine calibration. The coin weighs roughly 4.10 grams, measures about 19.75 millimeters across, and has the recognizable Spanish flower edge, 7 gentle indentations that make it easy to distinguish by touch, a subtle but important accessibility feature. Flip to the common reverse used by all euro area countries and you find 10 euro cent on a globe map motif by Luc Lux. His tiny LL initials hide near the design. Since 2007, that reverse has shown a simplified map of all of Europe, not just the EU, so your 2014 piece reflects that updated cartography. The 2014 date anchors the coin in a specific moment for both France and the euro area. Europe had just weathered the worst of the sovereign debt crisis, Croatia had joined the EU in 2013, not yet the euro area, and the currency union was steadying under new banking supervision rules. Day to day in France, cash was still dominant for small payments, and 10-cent coins had an active life in transit kiosks, cafes, and corner bakeries, especially in a country that still priced many items with charming .90 and .95 endings. While some EU members have debated rounding rules for 1 and 2 cent coins, the 10-cent denomination has remained a solid workhorse in circulation, with long useful life thanks to the hard-wearing alloy and protective patina that Nordic gold develops. Production for France's circulating euro coins takes place at the Monnaie de Paris facility in Pessac. On the 2014 10 cent, you can typically spot the tiny cornucopia mintmark used by Monnaie de Paris. Alongside it is a privy mark identifying the mint's director or chief engraver at the time. These small symbols change across years and directors. Together with the 4-digit date on the national side, those marks tell specialists exactly when and where the piece was made. Like other euro coins, French 10 cents are minted to tight tolerances so they run cleanly through coin validators, ticket machines, and parking meters across the euro area. From a design history angle, the 2014 French 10 cent is a conversation between national identity and European unity. The common reverse declares the coin's value within a shared system. The French side insists on cultural memory, citing a Third Republic emblem born on silver francs and later used on modern French francs right up to the eve of the euro. That continuity matters to collectors. The sower ties 19th century artistry to 21st century money, proving a national motif can live comfortably on a transnational coin. It's also a study in industrial artistry, the fine hatching around the sower, the crisp, RF, letters, and the way the satin fields catch light after years in pockets and cash drawers. As a collectible, the normal 2014 RF 10 cent is generally common in circulated condition and worth face value. Where interest grows is in uncirculated rolls, high-grade mint state pieces with full, frosty luster, or oddities like mistrikes, off-center strikes, and dramatic die clashes. Those can draw premiums. France also issues proof in BU brilliant uncirculated sets most years. The 2014 sets include a mirror-polished 10 cent that shows the sower with jewel-like clarity. For everyday keepers, store coins in non-PVC flips or inert capsules. Avoid polishing, it kills numismatic value, and if you must remove grime, use only distilled water soaks and pat dry, never rub. Finally, think of the 2014 RF 10 cent is a tiny historical document. It records a year when the euro project consolidated after a decade of trials. It broadcasts French artistic heritage on millions of small brass gold discs, and it performs the humble labor of small change while carrying a message about sowing for the future. That is the charm of the sower. Every time a French 10 cent moves from palm to till, it reenacts Roty's allegory: step forward, cast the seed, believe in tomorrow. The 2014 French RF 10 euro cent coin, a distinct historical perspective. The 2014 French 10 euro cent coin marked more than just another year of minting within the euro system. It was part of a continuing narrative of how nations balance their own cultural traditions with the shared European identity. On this coin, the national side bears the famous letters RF, standing for République Française, alongside the modernized figure of Le Semuse the sower. To a casual observer, this may appear as a simple emblem, but the roots of the sower design reach back to over 100 years of French artistic and political history. Originally created by Oscar Roty during the late 19th century, the image symbolized France's hope, resilience, and the idea of progress. When France joined the euro in 2002, instead of abandoning this heritage, it adapted it, ensuring that future generations, even in 2014, would still see an image tied deeply to national pride. From a technical standpoint, the 2014 10 cent coin was struck in Nordic gold, an alloy that is neither pure gold nor silver but has a warm golden color. The choice of this alloy across Europe was not random. It was carefully selected because of its durability, resistance to corrosion, and unique feel in vending and cash handling machines. By 2014, these coins had already become essential in millions of transactions, particularly in France, where cash culture remained strong. A baguette in a Paris bakery, a metro ticket in Lyon, or a newspaper from a corner stand often required a few 10 cent coins. Thus, beyond being a collector's piece, the coin was an active participant in daily life, circulating stories of ordinary people while silently representing European unity. Historically, the year 2014 was also significant in the eurozone context. Europe was still recovering from the economic turbulence of the late 2000s and early 2010s. The euro had faced intense criticism, but by 2014, reforms were underway, and confidence was gradually being restored. Coins minted during this period, including the French 10 cent, can therefore be seen as symbols of stability and endurance. They were everyday reassurances that the euro, despite crises, continued to function, unite, and serve as a reliable medium of exchange. For France, the RF coinage was a visible reminder of sovereignty within unity, a national identity engraved into a shared European framework. The design elements of the coin reflect layers of meaning. On the obverse national side, the spreading rays and forward movement of the sower embody growth, time, and a perpetual motion toward the future. On the reverse, designed by Luc Lux, the map of Europe demonstrates the continent's unity without erasing borders. The two sides together tell a story. One half is national memory, the other half collective cooperation. In 2014, this duality had special resonance, as Europe balanced integration with rising debates about national independence in several regions. The minting process itself is another story. The 2014 French coins were struck at the Monnaie de Paris minting facility in Pessac, which has produced France's circulating coins since the 1970s. Each coin carries the cornucopia mint mark, symbolizing abundance, and a small privy mark identifying the mint director of that year. Collectors often look for these details, as they add authenticity and uniqueness to otherwise common coins. The precision of minting reflects modern technology but also centuries of French craftsmanship in coin production. From a numismatic perspective, the 2014 French 10 cent coin is not rare in circulation, but its significance grows when viewed as part of a continuous lineage of French coinage. High-quality examples, proof strikes and uncirculated mint sets, are valued by collectors for their clarity and brilliance. These coins are often housed in official presentation packs by Monnaie de Paris, becoming part of larger euro coin collections. Even circulated versions, though common, hold historical worth, as they embody France's contribution to the euro system and preserve artistic tradition. In conclusion, the 2014 RF 10 euro cent coin is more than a small brass-colored disc. It is a fusion of history, art, economy, and symbolism. It ties the story of Oscar Rohde's 19th-century vision to the realities of a 21st-century Europe. It reminds us how money, while often overlooked in daily use, can serve as a bridge between past and present, between national identity and international cooperation. Every 2014 coin still in circulation is not only a medium of exchange but also a silent witness of history, carrying the heritage of France into every pocket, purse, and till across the eurozone.